Welcome to the first of several videos titled Bridge USA Fundamentals, Department of State Exchange Visitor Program, Responsible Officer, Alternate Responsible Officer, Virtual Training. Before we begin, please take a few minutes to watch the attached video about our program, Bridge USA. At the top, tap Slideshow from the beginning and then click the link. Disclaimer. This presentation solely provides guidance and does not replace the Exchange Visitor Program regulations found in 22 CFR Part 62. To obtain administrative guidance on the Exchange Visitor Program, the Exchange Visitor Program regulations, or program or exchange visitor issues and concerns, please visit the website at j1visa.state.gov. Your table of contents. During this session, we will go over the following. First, the purpose of the Exchange Visitor Program. 2, what is the Bridge USA? 3, sponsors' obligations of the Exchange Visitor Program found in 22 CFR 62.9. 4, important roles and responsibilities of the RO and ARO found in 22 CFR 62.11. 5, the Office of Private Sector Exchange and its programmatic supporting roles. 6, overview of pay.gov and its functionality. And 7, resources, your point of contacts for the Exchange Visitor Program. Why do we sponsor exchange visitor programs? Since the 1940s, the purpose of the Exchange Visitor Program, with your help, has been to provide foreign nationals through the Mutual Educational and Cultural Exchange Act of 1961, as amended, also known as Fulbright-Hays, with an opportunity to participate in educational and cultural programs in the U.S. and return home to share their experiences and encourage Americans to do the same in other countries. There are approximately 1,500 designated program sponsors, and in the previous years, there has been more than 330,000 new exchange visitors annually. Unfortunately, the number of exchange visitors drastically declined in 2020 due to COVID-19 and other factors. We are hopeful that the number of exchange visitors will begin to recover in the coming year. What is Bridge USA? The Bridge USA brand officially launched on October 27, 2020. The Exchange Visitor Program will remain the legal name when referring collectively to all exchange programs administered by ECA. You will continue to see the Exchange Visitor Program name in legal and regulatory documents. The website has a new URL, bridgeusa.state.gov. The current URL, j1visa.state.gov, will remain active as we educate stakeholders about the new brand and URL. Bridge USA implementation for sponsors. Sponsors are encouraged to integrate the new brand into their communications when and where possible. Moving forward, we understand this approach will be different for each sponsor organization. Here are 4 simple ways to get started. 1, incorporate mission-driven language into all your communications. This not only allows us to emphasize the global impact of Bridge USA programs, but also talk about them in a consistent and compelling way. 2, add a Bridge USA designation to your website. Add the logo and notation to your website and print materials indicating that you are authorized by the U.S. Department of State to administer Bridge USA programs. 3, spread the word. Help us raise awareness about our new brand identity by communicating this change to your staff, partners, participants, alumni, and other stakeholders. And 4, incorporate a phased approach. As your refresh or reorder cycles occur, or you seek to produce new assets, please take every opportunity to update your materials with our new brand identity. What are your obligations as a sponsor? As a sponsor official, you and your colleagues are obligated to ensure that your organizations continue to meet these 7 important actions that are prescribed in 22 CFR 62.9. You must read Regulations 22 U.S. Code of Federal Regulations, Part 62. You must maintain the legal status it had when it was first designated. You must remain in compliance with all local, state, and federal laws and professional requirements necessary to carry out the activities for which it is designated, including accreditation and licensure, if applicable. You must provide accurate, complete, and timely information to the extent lawfully permitted to the U.S. Department of State and the U.S. Department of Homeland Security regarding their exchange visitor programs, exchange visitors, accompanying spouses, and dependents, if any. You must maintain the financial capability to always meet their financial obligations and responsibilities attendant to successful sponsorship to their Bridge USA program. You must ensure that they have adequate staffing and sufficient support services provided to administer the Bridge USA program. And finally, you must appoint and maintain a responsible officer and between 1 to 10 AROs, alternate responsible officers, to assist the RO in performing the duties set forth in 62.11. What are the responsibilities of the RO and ARO? As an appointed official of the Exchange Visitor Program, these are the required responsibilities in the role of the RO and ARO as prescribed in the Regulations 22 CFR 62.11. When controlling the Form DS 2019, the RO and ARO facilitates the entry and re-entry of the exchange visitor. When needed, the RO and ARO prepares SEVIS requests for reinstatement, program transfer, extension, change of category, correction of minor or technical infraction, and allotment of Form DS 2019. Note, data fixes and permission to issue cannot be requested in SEVIS. When monitoring the program, your role is to facilitate and ensure that the exchange visitor is provided information, advice, resources, tools, and program information to successfully complete their program. And when preparing and submitting the redesignation application, your role is to complete the Form DS 3036, print and electronically submit in SEVIS. Send the background information for all appointed officials and the signed application Form DS 3036 electronically to the Office of Private Sector Exchange Designation. First, we have a sample of the Form DS 3036, which sponsors use to request redesignation or amendment of an existing program. Next, we have a sample of the Form DS 2019, which is a controlled document of the Department of State that a sponsor issues to a potential exchange visitor program participant, J1, and his or her accompanying spouse and dependents, J2, as permitted by regulations. Lastly, we have the sample Form DS 3097, which is a controlled document of the Department of State in which a sponsor reports program activity and evaluation on a yearly basis. Do you know who your point of contacts are at the Department of State? Here are your key officials. Introduction to the Office of Private Sector Exchange. The office is led by a Deputy Assistant Secretary. The Policy and Support Unit, ECA-EC. This unit develops regulations, identifies strategic goals, and connects with alumni. The director is Mr. Kevin Sava. The Office of Private Sector Designation, ECA-ECD, consists of two divisions, the Academic and Government Programs Division and the Private Sector Programs Division. Designation conducts sponsor outreach and evaluates applications from academic institutions, public and private sector organizations, and government entities for designation or redesignation as an exchange visitor program sponsor. Mrs. Karen Ward is the director who oversees this office. The Office of Private Sector Exchange Administration, ECA-EC-OPA, referred to as OPA, responds to complaints and incidents and evaluates sponsors' day-to-day exchange visitor program administration designated to enhance the health, safety, and welfare of exchange visitors. Mr. Henry Scott is the director that oversees this office. The Office of Exchange Coordination and Compliance, ECA-EC-ECC, referred to as Compliance, oversees the operations and management of CVIS, coordinates with law enforcement, and evaluates sponsors' regulatory compliance, and if warranted, may sanction a sponsor. Mrs. Susan Gary is the director who oversees this office. Introduction to the Policy and Program Support Unit. The Policy and Program Support Unit conducts the following activities. Regulations and guidance. They write and update EVP regulations through Federal Register process, update EVP forms, drafts memorandums of understanding, drafts guidance directives, and conduct survey and category reviews. Outreach. They engage with embassies on foreign policy objectives, engages on alumni events. Introduction to the Office of Private Sector Exchange Designation. The Office of Private Sector Exchange Designation designates organizations and program sponsors in the EVP and provides outreach to U.S. organizations to administer the exchange visitor program, including government agencies, academic institutions, private sector non-profit, and for-profit organizations. Designation reviews applications from sponsors for redesignation every 2 years, as well as applications from organizations for designation. They process applications for exchange visitor activities, i.e. extensions, reinstatements, change of category, provides outreach to sponsors and responds to category mailbox inquiries at the AG exchanges at state.gov for academic and government programs, and J visas at state.gov for private sector exchange programs, or email the category-specific mailboxes, i.e. designation trainee at state.gov or designated summer work travel at state.gov. Releases annual allotments of forms DS 2019, analyzes annual reports for sponsor every year, reviews placement reports, and analyzes management reviews. Introduction to the Office of Private Sector Exchange Program Administration, OPA. OPA monitors the health, safety, and welfare of exchange visitors. OPA monitors and enforces full compliance with department regulations and policies with a focus on exchange visitors' health, safety, and well-being, and responds to complaints and incidents. Sponsors must promptly, on or before the next business day, notify the department of any investigations of any exchange visitors, site of activity, or any serious problem or controversy that could be expected to bring the Department of State, the Exchange Visitor Program, or the sponsor's Exchange Visitor Program into notoriety or disruption, to include 22 CFR 62.13D. Potential litigation related to a sponsor's exchange visitor program in which the exchange visitor may be named a party, death of an exchange visitor, serious injury of an exchange visitor, sexual abuse allegations, and exchange visitors or third parties may contact OPA by visiting j1visa.state.gov to file a complaint. Introduction of the Office of Exchange Coordination and Compliance. Compliance evaluates department-designated exchange visitor program sponsors to ensure they are in regulatory compliance. They review specific exchange visitor program sponsors' data from the Student and Exchange Visitor Information System, SEVIS, and data requests to track program statistics, identify systematic compliance issues, and detect program trends. They work closely with the Department of Homeland Security to perfect and deploy SEVIS and its successor systems and ensure its use by designated sponsors. Maintain all required law enforcement liaison with other Department of State bureaus and U.S. government agencies regarding sanctions and issues that fall under their respective responsibilities. They investigate serious complaints about the operations of designated sponsors received from the general public and/or exchange visitor program exchange visitors, or identified through monitoring of designated sponsor activities. When compliance has made findings about a designated sponsor comprising a reason for a sanction under 22 CFR 6250A, compliance recommends sanctions to be imposed on that designated sponsor in accordance with 22 CFR 6250. What are the 15 participating program categories? You as the RO and ARO are responsible for at least one of these 15 categories in which the exchange visitor comes to the U.S. to participate. They are divided between the private sector and academic and government programs divisions. The private sector program categories are au pair, camp counselor, intern, alien physician, secondary school student, summer work travel, teacher, and trainee. The academic and government programs categories are college and university student, government visitor, international visitor, professor, research scholar, short-term scholar, and specialist. Let's discuss the difference of each category in more detail. What are the categories under the private sector programs division? Let's discuss the private sector categories. Au pair. Though the au pair program, participants and host families take part in a mutual rewarding intercultural opportunity. Participants can continue their education while experiencing everyday life with an American family, and hosts receive reliable and responsible child care from individuals who become part of the family. Camp Counselor. The Camp Counselor program enables post-secondary students, youth workers, and teachers to share their culture and ideas with the people of the United States in camp settings throughout the country. Intern. Must be foreign nationals who are currently enrolled in and pursuing studies at a foreign degree or certificate grant post-secondary academic institution outside the United States, or who have graduated from such an institution no more than 12 months prior to their exchange visitor program start date. The benefits: practical experience. The program bridges the gap between formal education and practical work experience. Alien physician. Non-clinical exchange participants must have a designated United States university or academic medical center may issue the alien physician a Form DS 2019 to ensure them to come to the United States for the purpose of observation, consultation, teaching, or research if the sponsor signs and appends to the Form DS-2019 a certification which states, this certifies that the program in which is to be engaged is solely for the purpose of observation, consultation, teaching, or research, and that no element of patient care is involved. Or, the dean of the involved accredited U.S. medical school or his designee must certify the following 5 points. The program is predominantly observation, consultation, teaching, or research. Any incidental patient contact will be under the direct supervision of a U.S. citizen or resident alien who is licensed to practice medicine in the state in which the activity is taking place. The foreign national physician will not be given final responsibility for the diagnosis and treatment of the patients. Any activities will conform fully with the state licensing requirements and regulations for medical and healthcare professionals in the state in which the program is being pursued, and any experience gained will not be accreditable towards any clinical requirements for medical specialty board certification. Benefits: school credit, graduate medical education or training in a specialty or subspecialty occupation. Secondary school student must be at least 15 years of age, but not more than 18 years and 6 months of age as of the program start date, or not have finished more than 11 years in primary and secondary school, not including kindergarten, and not have previously participated in a secondary school student academic year or semester exchange program, or attended school in the United States in either F1 or J1 status. The benefits: extracurricular experiences. Students may take part in school-sanctioned and sponsored extracurricular activities, including after-school sports programs. Accommodation: students live with an American host family, or at a U.S. boarding school. Summer work travel. College and university students enrolled full-time and pursuing studies at post-secondary accredited academic institutions located outside the United States come to the United States to share their culture and ideas with people of the United States through temporary work and travel opportunities. Teacher benefits: education and cultural enrichment. Exchange teachers sharpen their professional skills and participate in cross-cultural activities in schools and communities, and they return to their home school after the exchange to share their experiences and increase knowledge of the United States and the U.S. educational system. Repeat participation. Teachers are eligible to repeat the program provided that they have resided outside the United States for 2 years and continue to meet the eligibility requirements. Trainee. Training programs are designed to allow foreign professionals to come to the United States to gain exposure to U.S. culture and to receive training in U.S. business practices in their chosen occupational field. What are the categories under the Academic and Government Programs Division? Let's discuss the AGA categories. The college and university students must be financed directly or indirectly by the U.S. government, the government of their home country, an international organization of which the United States is a member by treaty or statute, or supported substantially by funding from any source other than personal or family funds. Benefits: school credit. University and college students may engage in degree granting programs until completion or non-degree granted programs for more than 24 months. Employment: students may engage in part-time employment under certain conditions, including good academic standing at their host institutions. Academic training: students may participate in academic training with or without wages or other remuneration during their studies with the approval of the academic dean or advisor and the responsible officer at their sponsor organization. Government visitor must be selected by a U.S. federal, state, or local government agency, engaged in observation tours, discussions, consultations, professional meetings, conferences, workshops, and travel, and an influential or distinguished person. Benefits: professional training. Participants consult, observe, train, and demonstrate special skills on matters of shared interest. International visitor must be selected by the United States Department of State, engaged in consultation, observation, research, training, or demonstration of special skills, and a recognized or potential leader in a field of specialized knowledge or skill. Benefits: cultural understanding. Recognized or potential foreign leaders participate in observation tours, discussions, consultations, professional meetings, conferences, workshops, and travel as a way to better understand U.S. culture and society and contribute to a better knowledge of foreign cultures in the United States. Professors must not be a candidate for a tenure-track position, not have participated in and completed a professor program within the last 24 months preceding the beginning date of their new program's commencement, not have participated in a J visa program for all or part of the 12-month period immediately preceding the start date of a professor program unless he or she meet one of the following exceptions. The participant is currently in a professor program and is transferring to another institution in the United States to continue his or her current J1 program. The participant's prior physical presence in the United States on a J visa program was less than 6 months in duration, and the prior participation was as a short-term scholar. The benefits: educational enrichment. Professors facilitate the exchange of ideas and research in a variety of fields between people of the United States and people of other countries. Research scholars must not be a candidate for a tenure-track position, not have participated in and completed a research scholar program within the last 24 months preceding the beginning date of their new program's commencement, not have participated in a J visa program for all or part of the 12-month period immediately preceding the start date of a research scholar program unless they meet one of the following exceptions. The participant is currently in a research scholar program and is transferring to another institution in the United States to complete their current J1 program. The participant's prior physical presence in the U.S. on a J visa program was less than 6 months in duration, and any prior participation was as a short-term scholar. Short-term scholars must be a professor or research scholar or someone with similar education and or experience. The benefits: educational enrichment. Participants collaborate on a special research projects, teach a semester at a college or university, or lecture, consult, or observe in a variety of settings in education and research in the United States. More information: the maximum duration of stay is 6 months. No program extensions will be considered, and no change of category will be considered. Specialists must be experts in a field of specialized knowledge or skill, seek to travel to the United States for the purpose of the interchange of knowledge and skills among foreign and American specialists by observing, consulting, or demonstrating their special knowledge or skills, and not fill a permanent or long-term position of employment while in the United States. The benefits: educational enrichment. Participants experience an interchange of knowledge and skills among foreign and American specialists who are defined as experts in a field of specialized knowledge. What is Pay.gov? The functionality for the Department of State EVP action requests. This training is designed to facilitate and enhance your understanding of Pay.gov and how to submit payments to the Department of State. Pay.gov is a U.S. Department of Treasury electronic payment system which is utilized by several other agencies, including the Department of State, for Exchange Visitor Program payments. Pay.gov is used to make payments for program redesignations, program extensions, change of category, reinstatements, ECFMG sponsorship authorization requests, and permission to issue requests. Payments are accepted through Automated Clearinghouse, ACH, or credit and debit cards. There are two types of Pay.gov accounts. All exchange visitor sponsors must register with the Department of State to be approved for a Pay.gov account. There are two types of Pay.gov accounts. The first type is for the new sponsor applicants only and is used solely to pay the program designation fee when applying to be a designated sponsor for the first time. The second type is for currently designated sponsors, responsible officers and alternate responsible officers, or any member from the institution can utilize this account to pay for extensions, redesignations, change of categories, reinstatement update CVIS status, ECFMG sponsorship authorizations, permission to issue, and program extensions, ECFMG board certified exams. The form Department of State EVP fee payment must be chosen when completing the EVP payment. How to request a Department of State authorized Pay.gov account. Now let us discuss how to request a new Pay.gov account. To request a new account, please fill out the Excel spreadsheet that is attached to this slide and send it to the appropriate email address according to your program. AG Exchanges at State.gov is utilized for academic and government programs, where JVisas at State.gov or the individual category mailboxes are utilized for all private sector programs to include intern, trainee, au pair, secondary school student, summer work and travel, camp counselor, teacher, and alien physician. At least 2 individuals from your institution must have a registered Pay.gov account. An RO, ARO, or any staff member of the institution can have a registered account with our office. After 1 to 3 business days, Pay.gov will reach out to the individuals directly to provide them with their login credentials. How to make a payment in Pay.gov. Now let us go over how to submit an EVP payment in Pay.gov. The detailed step-by-step instructions on how to properly submit an EVP payment is located in the PDF document attached to the slide. Any payment made by not using the correct form, EVP fee payment will not be accepted. Once the EVP payment has been completed, confirmation will be emailed to the payer. It is critical that the payer submit the confirmation receipt to the Office of Private Sector Exchange Designation in a timely manner. Common problems with making payments in Pay.gov. Now let us review of some of the common problems with completing the EVP payment in Pay.gov. Common problem number 1. I forgot my password. Can you help me reset it? For security reasons, our office does not have access to Pay.gov user accounts, nor are we able to assist with password resets. The user will need to contact Pay.gov customer service at 1-800-624-1373 option 2 and ask for a password reset. Kindly note that if a user does not log into their account at least once every 90 days, his or her account password will need to be reset. Common problem number 2. Why can I not access the EVP fee payment form? If you are a new user, please contact the Office of Private Sector Exchange Designation via the category-specific email addresses and request an account. Again, if a user does not log into their account at least once every 90 days, the account password will need to be reset. To reset the password, call Pay.gov customer service at 1-800-624-1373, option 2. Common problem 3. I already created an account, but I still cannot access the private form. If a user did not request an account through our office, the user will not have access to the private form. In this particular case, the user has created a personal account and not a registered Department of State account. Please reach out to us by contacting the appropriate email address according to your program so that we can facilitate the creation of your registered account. Office of Private Sector Exchange Designation, Pay.gov contacts. For any questions pertaining to this training or Pay.gov, please contact AG Exchanges at State.gov or JVisas at State.gov or the individual category mailboxes. I hope you've enjoyed this first training session. This is one of several to come. Please hold on to this page as a keepsake of resources. The Bridge USA website is full of resources for sponsor officials, including regulations, manuals, advisory letters, brochures, and much more. The Department of State wishes to thank all of you for your commitment to the international exchange.